Ya, baik. Silahkan kelompok 9 dapat memulai presentasinya.
Baik, izin share screen ya, Ibu.
Ya.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Nani and friends. Today we are from Group 9 and we are going to be presenting an academic article about analysis, which contains the material, limit, derivative, and integral. Before we start our presentation, I would like to introduce our team first. There are Adinda Ramadhani Prabowo, Hasna Latifah Husna, and myself, Haila Safra. Okay, so next is the topics that we are going to be presenting. The first topic is about limit, the second topic is about derivative, the third topic is about integral, and the last topic is the quiz session. So we are going to be presenting our first material, which is about limit, and this material will be presented by me. Okay, so the first topic is the definition of a limit. A limit refers to the value that a function approaches as the input or variable gets closer to a certain point. It is called a limit because the function's value gets very close to this point, although it may not actually reach it. Limits are especially useful when a function is undefined at specific points, as they help us understand the behavior of the function near those points. So next, in algebraic terms, the limit of a function of f of x as x approaches a equals L if for every small number epsilon greater than 0, there exists a delta greater than 0, such that when the absolute value of a is subtracted from x is less than delta but greater than 0. Then the absolute value of L is subtracted from f of x is less than epsilon. And this is known as the formal definition of a limit. Now we move to the second subtopic, which is the limit laws for algebraic functions. If we let b and c be real numbers, let n be a positive integer, and let f and g be functions with the following limits, the limit of f of x as x approaches c equals L, and the limit of g of x as x approaches c equals k, then the following limit laws apply. The first law is the scalar multiple law, and we read it as the limit of the product of b is multiplied by f of x as x approaches c equals the product of b is multiplied by the limit of f of x as x approaches c is equals to the product of b is multiplied by f. And the next law is the sum or difference law. We read it as the limit of f of x plus or minus g of x as x approaches c equals the limit of f of x as x approaches c plus or minus the limit of g of x as x approaches c equals to L plus or minus k. And the third law is the product law, and we read it as the limit of the product of f of x is multiplied by g of x as x approaches c is equals to the product of the limit of f of x as x approaches c is multiplied by the limit of g of x as x approaches c. The fourth law is the quotient law, and we read it as the limit of the quotient of f of x is divided by g of x as x approaches c equals the quotient of the limit of f of x as x approaches c is divided by the limit of g of x as x approaches c equals to L over k, and provided k is not equal to 0. And the fifth law is the power law. We read it as the limit of f of x to the power of n as x approaches c equals to the limit of f of x as x approaches c to the power of n is equals to L to the power of x. And the last law, which is the root law, we read it as the limit of the nth root of f of x as x approaches c equals the nth root of the limit of f of x as x approaches c is equals to the nth root of L. For even n, L must be greater than 0. So now is the next subtopic, which is the methods for solving limits of algebraic function. The first method is the direct substitution method. So the first step to solving a limit is direct substitution. And if the result of a direct substitution does not give a value with an indeterminate form as below, then it is the value of the limit in question. So here's the sum of the indeterminate form. There are 0 over 0. 0 is multiplied by infinity. Infinity is subtracted from infinity. 0 to the power of 0. Infinity to the power of 0. And infinity to the power of infinity. So the example question for this method is find the value of the limit of x to the power of 2 is added to 2 is multiplied by x is added to 3 as x approaches negative 2. And the answer, we can use the direct substitution method. So we change the x into the negative 2. And then we use the exponentiation and multiplication. So negative 2 to the power of 2 is 4. And then 2 is multiplied by negative 2 is negative 4. And then we use addition. So 4 is added to negative 4 is 0. And 0 is added to 3. And the value of the limit is 3. The value of the limit in the question is 3. Okay, so next is the factoring method. And if the direct substitution results in an indeterminate form, we need to factor the expression to eliminate the indeterminate form. And once it's no longer indeterminate, we proceed with the direct substitution strategy or method to obtain the result. And below are some commonly used algebraic factorization to simplify calculation to factoring. And the first form is x to the f is y to the power of 2 is subtracted from x to the power of 2 is equals to open bracket y is subtracted from x close bracket is multiplied by open bracket x is added to y close bracket. And the second form is 2 is multiplied by x is multiplied by y is subtracted from x to the power of 2 is added to y to the power of 2 is equals to open bracket y is subtracted from x close bracket to the power of 2. And the third form is x to the power of 2 is added to 2 is multiplied by x is multiplied by y is added to y to the power of 2 is equals to open brackets x is added to y close brackets to the power of 2. And then there are also the other kind of form, which is the form for which is the form for y to the power of 3 is, sorry, there are also the other kind of form for x to the power of 3 plus or minus y to the power of 3 and x to the power of n plus or minus y to the power of f. So here is the example for the factoring method. So the limit in the question is find the value of the limit of the quotient of 4 is subtracted from x to the power of 2 is divided by 2 is subtracted from x as x approaches 2. So this limit in the question, if we use the direct substitution method, it will be an indeterminate form. So we need to use the factoring method for this question. And the first step is we need to factor the numerator. So 4 is subtracted from x to the power of 2 will be open brackets 2 to the power 2 is subtracted from x close bracket is multiplied by open bracket x is added to 2 close bracket and then the numerator is divided by 2 to the power 2 is subtracted from x and then we divide the common factor. So the limit of x is added to 2 as x approaches 2. And the next step is substitution. So we change the x into 2 and then we use addition. So 2 is added to 2 and the value of the limit in question is 4. Next is the third method, which is conjugate multiplication method, and the method of multiplying by the conjugate is used for limits involving irrational expressions. And this is applied when both direct substitution and factoring methods result in an indeterminate form. And after simplifying the expression through conjugate multiplication, then we use the direct substitution method again to find the result. And below are some forms of conjugate factors that are commonly used in determining the limit of a function. The first form is x is added to a is the conjugate of a is subtracted from x, and vice versa. So what does vice versa mean? Vice versa means a is subtracted from x is also the conjugate of x is added to a. And the second form is the square root of x is added to a is the conjugate of a is subtracted from the square root of x, and vice versa. The third form is the square root of x is added to the square root of y is the conjugate of the square root of y is subtracted from the square root of x, and vice versa. And the last form is the square root of f of x is added to a is the conjugate of a is subtracted from the square root of f of x, and vice versa. Now here's the example for the conjugate multiplication method. So the limit in the question is find the value of the limit of the quotient 3 is subtracted from the square root of x is divided by 9 is subtracted from x. So first, we need to multiply the limit with the conjugate, and then we use multiplication. So here is 3 is subtracted from the square root of x is multiplied by the square root of x is added to 3, and the result of the multiplication, the product is 9 is subtracted from x. And then we'll multiply the denominator 2. And then we divide the common factor. Here is 9 is subtracted from x. And the result is the limit of the quotient of 1 is divided by the square root of x is added to 3 as x approaches 9. And then we use the substitution method. So here is the x, and x we change the x into 9, and then we use this root simplification. So the square root of 9 is 3, and then the result is 1 over 6 from the addition of 3 is added to 3. So the value of the limit in the question is 1 over 6. Okay, that is all from me. And now we will move on to the next topic, which is derivative. And this topic will be explained by Adinda. So Adinda, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator, for opportunity. So the next topic is derivative. Okay, definition of derivative. In mathematics, differential calculus is a branch of calculus that studies how values change. Its main focus is the derivative of function and how to calculate it. The derivative of function represents the rate of change of the function output with respect to its input. It tells us how fast a value is changing at a given point. And the process of finding the derivative is called differentiation. Okay, on this slide, we see the limit definition of derivative. It's written like this. This formula tells us how to find the derivative of a function f of x at a point x. We read it as f prime of x is equal to the limit of the quotient of the difference between f of x plus h, and if and f of x is divided by h as h approaches 0. Next. Okay, now let's look at example using the limit definition of derivative. We are given a function 3 multiplied by x squared added to 1. We want to find the derivative using the definition. First, we substitute f of x plus h into the formula. Since f of x is equal to 3 is multiplied by x squared added to 1. Then f of x plus h is equal 3 is multiplied by x added to h squared plus square is added to 1. Also substitute 3x squared plus 1 into f of x. Next, let's expand x plus h squared which is this equal the limit as h approaches 0 of 3 times the quantity x squared plus 2h x plus h squared plus 1 minus the quantity 3 squared plus 1 all divided by h. Then distributing and open parentheses, this equal the limit as approaches 0 of 3x squared plus 6hx plus 3x plus 3h squared plus 1 minus 3x squared minus 1 all divided by h. Next, simplify. We cancel 3 is multiplied by x squared and 1. And we're left with 6x h plus 3x squared all over h. Next, we factor h from the numerator, h times t 6x plus h, 6x plus 3h divided by h. Then we cancel out the h. Now we have 6x plus 3h. So the finally, the limit as h approaches 0, the 3h becomes 0, and we get the final result f prime of x is equal 6 is multiplied by x. Okay, let's take a look at how we write derivative in the different notation. There are two common ways to express the derivative of a function. First, we have this notation, f prime of x. And the second, we have the notation using the letter e. We read this as the derivative of f of x with respect to x. Okay, next is properties of derivative. These rules help us differentiate function more easily, especially when there are constant or when two functions are added or subtracted. This means the first derivative of e is multiplied by f of x with respect to x is equal to k multiplied by the first derivative of f of x with respect to x. In other words, if you have a constant k multiplied by f of x, you can just move the constant outside the derivative. The second is sum and derivative rule. The first derivative of f of x is plus or minus g of x with respect to x is equal to the first derivative of f of x with respect to x is plus or minus the first derivative of g of x with respect to x. Now let's look at an example problem using the constant rule for derivative. We want to find the derivative of 5 is multiplied by x to the power of 3. So the first step is apply the constant rule. We know that the constant rule allows us to move the constant outside the derivative. So we write the expression as the derivative with respect to x of 5. X cubed is equal to 5 is multiplied by the derivative with respect to x of x cubed. Next, we differentiate x to the power of 3. We take the derivative of x to the power of 3 with respect to x, and using the power rule, we get 3x squared. And last step is multiply by constant multiply the constant by the result. Now we multiply 5 by the derivative of x to the power of 3, which is 3 is multiplied by x to the power of 2. So the final answer is 15 is multiplied by x to the power of 2. Okay, next let's talk about derivative rules. Let's start with the first one, the power rule. This is perhaps the most fundamental rule in the differentiation, especially useful for polynomial function. As you can see, if we have a function f of x is equals to c is multiplied by x to the power of n, then f prime of x is equals to c is multiplied by n, and the product of is multiplied by x to the power of n minus 1. The second rule is product rule. We can read if f of x is the product of u of x and v of x, then f prime of x is equals to u prime of x is multiplied by v of x. and the product is added to the product of u of x and prime of x. Okay, let's move to quotient rule and the chain rule. This rule is essential when you encounter a function that is the division of two other functions. The quotient rule involves subtraction and the denominator. To read this formula, if f of x is equal to u of x divided by v of x with respect to x, then f prime of x is equal to u of x is multiplied by v prime of x, and the product is subtracted from the product of u prime of x is multiplied by v of x, and the difference is divided by v of x squared. Okay, next chain rule. To read this formula, the first derivative of v of v of g of x with respect to x is equal to f prime of g of x is multiplied by g prime of x. Okay, now look at an example problem using the product rule. First, the quotient is find the derivative of f of x is equal 2x is added to 3 is multiplied by x to the power of 5 is subtracted from x to the power of 2. First, identify u of x and v of x. Let u of x be the first part, 2x plus 3, and v of x be the second part, is 5 is subtracted from x to the power of 2. Next, we need to find the derivative of both u of x and v of x individually. Is derivative of u of x is simply 2, and the derivative v of x is 2 is multiplied by x. Now that we have the necessary component is u, v, u prime, and v prime, we can plug them into the product rule formula. The formula is if f of x is the product of u of x and f of x, then f prime of x is equal to u prime of x is multiplied by v of x, and the product is added to the product of u of x and prime of x. Now substitute our values into this formula. Substituting our values, we get f prime of x equal to multiplied by the quantity x squared minus 5 plus the quantity 2x plus 3 multiplied by 2x. The final step is to simplify the resulting expression. We distribute the terms. So the derivative is f prime of x is equal to 6x squared plus 6x minus 10. Okay, on this slide, we will look at the derivative of the fundamental trigonometric function. Let's start with the most common one. The first derivative of sine of x with respect to x is equal to cosine of x. The second, we read the first derivative of cosine of x with respect to x is equals to negative sine of x. The third, the first derivative of tangent of x with respect to x is equals to secant squared of x. Okay, next is cosecant. We can write the first derivative of x with respect to x is equal to negative cosecant of x is multiplied by cotangent of x. Next, the first derivative of secant of x with respect to x is equals to secant of x is multiplied by tangent of x. The last, the first derivative of the cotangent of x with respect to x is equals to negative cosecant squared of x. Okay, next is derivative of exponential function. Let's start with the simple case. The derivative of e to the power of x is e to the power of x. The second, if f of x is equal to e to the power of g of x, then f prime of x is e to the power of g of x is multiplied by the derivative of g of x. Okay, For a general exponential function, f of x is equal to a to the power of x, where a any positive constant not equal to 1. We can read if f of x is equal to a to the power of x, then f prime of x is a to the power of prime of to the power of x is multiplied by ln a. Next, if f of x is equals to a to the power of g of x, then f prime of x is a to the power of g of x is multiplied by the derivative of g of x is multiplied by ln a. Okay, next slide is derivative of logarithm function. First, we can read this as the derivative of the natural logarithm of x with respect to x is equal to 1 over x. The second is the derivative of the natural logarithm of a function f of x with respect to x is equal to 1 over f of x is multiplied by the derivative of f of x. Okay, next. Okay, the third, we can write the derivative of the logarithm base a of x is equal to 1 divided by the product of x is multiplied by the natural logarithm of a. The last, the derivative of the logarithm base a of a function, base a of a function f of x is equals to the 1 over f of x is multiplied by the natural logarithm of a and multiplied by the derivative of f of x. Okay, this is all from me. Thank you. I will pass it back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Adinda, for your explanation. And the third topic is integral, which will be explained by Hasna. To Hasna, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator, for opportunity. The next topic is integral. Next. Okay, before starting the problem, let's learn the meaning of an integral first. Definition of integral. An integral is the reverse of the derivative is a function is to add up small values continuously over certain interval. It can be imaged as calculating the area under a curve, a graph, and there are two types of integral. First, indefinite integral. It has no limit and the result is a function is added to c. Second, definite integral. This one has upper and lower limit and the result is a number. Next. Okay, I will present the indefinite integral first. Definition of indefinite integral is the integral of the function f of x if the derivative is known. Yes. The formula like this, but sorry, there a small typo. It should be a capital C. We can read the integral of f of x with respect to x is equals to f of x is added to c. And this is a symbol and the meaning. The first symbol like this and the meaning is integral of f with respect to x, and the second is integral, and third is variable of integration. Fourth is an integral of f, a function f such that is f prime of x is equal to f of x. Five, integration, meaning the process of finding the integral, and the last is constant of integration, and the meaning is any real number considered as constant function. Next. Okay, the next is rule for integral. One is 0. The integral of 0 with respect to x is equal to c. And second is constant rule. The integral of k with respect to x is equal to k is multiplied by x, and the product is added to c. Third is Third is multiplication by a constant. A scalar can be taken out of an integral under the constant rule. The integral of k times f of x with respect to x is equal to k times the integral of f of x with respect to x. And fourth is sum rule. The antiderivative of sum is equals to the sum of the antiderivative. The integral of open bracket f of x plus g of x close bracket with respect to x is equals to the integral of f of x with respect to x plus the integral of g of x with respect to x. And five, difference rule. The integral of difference of a finite number of function is equal to the difference of the integral of the individual. The integral of open bracket f of x minus g of x close bracket with respect to x is equal to the integral of f of x with respect to x minus the integral of g of x with respect to x. And the last is power rule. The integral of x to the power of n with respect to x is equal to 1 divided by n plus 1 multiplied by x to the power of n plus 1 plus c, where n is not equal to negative 1. Next. Okay. Next is exponential integral. One is natural logarithm rules. The root of 1 over x with respect to x is equal to natural logarithm of x is added to c. And the second is exponential rule with base e. The integral of e to the power of x with respect to x equal e to the power of x is added to c. And third is exponential rule with base a. The integral of a to the power of x with respect to x equal to the power of x divided by natural log of a, and the quotient is added to c. Next. Okay, the next is trigonometric integral. 1. The integral of sine of x with respect to x is equals to negative cosine of x with f x is added to c. Second is the integral of cosine of x with respect to x is equal to sine of x is added to c. And third is the integral of secant of x is multiplied by tangent of x with respect to x is equal to secant f of x is added to c. And fourth is the integral of cosecant of x multiplied by cotangent of x with respect to x is equal to negative cosecant of x is added to c. And 5 is the integral of secant of x squared with respect to x is equals to tangent of x is added to c. And the last is the integral of cotangent of x multiplied by cosecant of x with respect to x is equal to cosecant of x is added to c. Next. Okay, the next is sample. The integral of cosine x minus sine x with respect to x is equals to, step 1 is split the integral into two separate integral. The integral of cosine x minus sine x with respect to x is equal to the integral of cosine x with respect to x plus the integral of sine x with respect to x. And step 2 is find the integral of cosine and sine. The integral of cosine x with respect to x added to the integral of sine x with respect to x is equal to negative cosine x subtracted from sine x added to c. And third is simply and the double negative cosine x subtracted from sine x added to c and is equals to sine x added to cosine x added to c. Next. Okay, next, definite integral. Definition of definite integral. If the function is definite on integral a to b, then the integral from a to b of f of x with respect to x is called a definite integral of the function f from a to b. the formula like this. The integral of f of x with respect to x from a to b is equal to f of a subtracted from f to b. And where the function f of f is the antiderivative of f of x is x gender, then are equal to a and x less than or equal to b. From above integral is called a definite integral with as the lower limit and b as the upper limit. Next, okay. The next example, the integral from 1 to 4 of 2x squared with respect to x is equals to, step 1 is factor out the constant 2 from the integral. The integral from 1 to 4 of 2x squared with respect to x is equal to 2 multiply by the integral from 1 to 4 of x squared with respect to x. And step 2 is find the antiderivative of x squared. 2 multiplied by the integral from 1 to f of x squared with respect to x is equal to multiplied by open bracket 1/3 x cubed close bracket evaluate from 1 to 4. And third is baked in the upper and limit into the antiderivative to multiply by the product of 1/3 and 1 cube subtracted from the product 1/3 and 4 cube. And part is simplify and solve. 2 multiplied by 64 that subtracted from 1/3 actual to multiplied by 63 third. Then 2 multiplied by 20 equals 42. Okay, next. Okay. Next is properties of integral. Some properties of definite integral formula, but sorry, there is multiple this formula number 1. It shall be the integral for a to b of x with respect to x is equals to negative the integral from b to a of f of x with respect to x, because when b refers the limit of integration, the sign of the result changes. And example B, use formula number 2. Example C, use formula number 1. Example D, use formula number 4. Example E, use formula number 5. Next. Okay, next, integral technique, integral of substitution. If U is function which can differential and R is numbers with no 0, 10. And this formula like this, the integral of f of g of x multiplied by g prime of x with respect to x is equal to f of x added to c. And we can evaluate the integral by making the substitution g of x is equals to u and g prime with respect to x is equal to u. Then our integral changes to the integral of f of u with respect to u. Okay, next. Okay, the example is find the value of the integral of open bracket 1 plus x close bracket to the power of 3 with respect to x. The first step is to let u equals 1 plus x. The second step is to find the derivative of u. Since the derivative of x is 1, we get du is equals dx. Now we rewrite the integral as the integral of u to the power of 3 with respect to u, then the integral of u of the the integral of u to the power of 3 is u to the power of 4 divided by 4 plus c. And finally, we can substitute 1 added to x back for u. So the final result is open bracket 1 plus open bracket 1 plus x, close bracket 2 the power of 4 divided by 4 plus c. Okay. Next. Okay, next. Particle anti-integral rules. If u and v is a function which can differential then and this formula like this, the integral of u with respect to v is equal to the integral of v with respect to u subtracted from u multiplied by v. Next. Okay, the example like this. Find the integral of x multiplied by cosine x with respect to x. Step 1 is choose u and dv. Let u is equals to x, let dv is equals to cosine x dv. And step 2 is find derivative integrals. The derivative of u is 1, and the integral of cosine x is sine x. Step 3, use the integration by part formula. The formula like this, and so now we write x multiplied by sine x subtracted from the integral of sine x dx. And step 4, solve the remaining integral. The integral of sine x is negative cosine x. So we have x multiplied by sine x added to cosine x added to c. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you. I will turn it the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Hasna, for the explanation. So before we move to the quiz section, is there any feedback from Mimi to our presentation?
Okay, thank you group 9 ya, for the presentation about analysis ya, limit, derivative, and integral. I think it was a comprehensive presentation. And you state ya the term of mathematics expression with clearly. Can you go to first slide? Maybe third or second slide about limit. Okay. Yeah, it's important to read the definition of a limit, or read the limit expression with the correct in a correct way ya. Tadi dibacakan oleh Kaila ya dengan benar, dengan jelas gitu ya. Dalam bahasa Indonesia kadang-kadang kita pun masih salah ya baca ekspresi limit ini gitu ya. Biasanya gimana kalau kalkulus nih ada bentuk limit, bacanya gimana? Biasanya kan limit, kadang x mendekati a-nya dibaca duluan ya. Nah, dari kiri ke kanan gitu kan. Limit x mendekati a fx sama dengan L. Gitu ya. Padahal yang betul seperti ini. Di kayaknya setelahnya ya. Tadi cara bacanya di mana?
Cara bacanya itu berarti the limit of f of x as x approaches a equals L gitu.
Ya, oke. Yang tadi tertulis di mana? Di slide
Di sini
setelahnya
ada
ya,
sih, Bu.
atau
Iya.
Oke, nah itu ya. Nah ini cara bacanya seperti itu ya. Jadi ini betul em, fx-nya dulu ya yang dibaca ya. Limit dari fungsi apa gitu ya. Limit dari fungsi apa baru eh, dibaca pendekatannya gitu ya. Pendekatannya x-nya menuju apa gitu ya. Kemudian eh, baru eh, hasilnya ya, equals to L misalnya, atau hasil kalinya apa gitu ya. Nah, kemudian juga tadi yang pekan lalu saya sempat eh, singgung ya tentang bagaimana membaca operasi penjumlahan, pengurangan tadi juga sudah dibacakan dengan baik ya. Jadi bukan sekadar misalnya apa f of x minus L gitu ya, tapi tadi disebutkan L is subtracted from f of x gitu ya. Itu supaya terbiasa membaca seperti itu. Oke. Ya, itu ya sebentar. Beberapa hal mungkin yang perlu penekanan lagi. Bentar ya. Hmm, tadi juga ada ini ya, pendekatan ke Tahingga ya, kalau nggak salah ya. Pendekatan ke Tahingga ada
Di
nggak ya?
PPT ini tidak ada.
Oh, oh nggak ada ya. Nah, tadi kalau nggak salah saya sempat dengar yang, oh ya, tadi kan ada ya bagaimana membaca Tahingga itu ya. Apa tadi bacanya? Infinity ya.
Infinity, Bu.
Ya betul. Jadi nanti ketika misalnya diberikan sebuah kalimat matematika gitu ya dalam bahasa sorry, diberikan sebuah simbol matematika yang berkaitan dengan limit, yang berkaitan dengan derivatif, yang berkaitan dengan integral, itu eh, harus bisa ya membacanya dalam bahasa Inggris itu seperti apa, atau sebaliknya ketika ada kalimat matematikanya. Nah, kemudian diubah ke simbolnya itu seperti apa, gitu ya. Jadi kalau untuk yang bagian analisis ini mungkin seputaran itu ya, karena cukup sulit kan. Artinya kalau misalnya dikasih soal limit, dikasih soal turunan, soal integral gitu ya, di mata kuliah bahasa Inggris matematik kayaknya terlalu jauh gitu ya, terlalu jauh. Jadi fokus ke bagaimana eh, membaca ya, membaca eh, simbol atau ekspresi matematika yang berkaitan dengan analisis ini gitu ya, atau sebaliknya gitu kalau ada kalimat matematika itu bagaimana menuliskannya ke dalam simbol atau ekspresi matematikanya gitu. Nah ini juga nanti berkaitan dengan materi-materi yang sebelumnya ya, yang tentang uh, Greek alfabet ya, yang berkaitan dengan trigonometri gitu kan. Nah, itu kan tadi kan banyak ya pakai abjad-abjad Yunani gitu ya, epsilon, delta, yang seperti itu berarti jangan dilupain ya materi-materi yang sebelumnya. Itu ya. Tadi kalau eh, secara konsepnya sudah cukup dan mungkin memang nggak usah terlalu dalam gitu ya untuk apa namanya konsep analisisnya gitu. Tapi yang terpenting tadi bagaimana membaca ya ekspresi matematika ya dari materi analisis ini. Oke, mungkin bisa lanjut ya ke kuisnya. Sorry, sebelumnya ke yang bagian ini dulu deh, yang bagian derivatifnya di awalnya ya. Ya, next, yang bagaimana membaca. Nah, ini ya. Nah, ini juga penting ya. Bagaimana membaca eh, apa simbol-simbol ini gitu. Atau kalau misalnya langsung dalam permasalahan, misalnya sudah diketahui fungsinya gitu, berapa bagaimana ditanya turunannya, nah itu gimana bacanya gitu. Kalau ini kan masih berkaitan dengan limit ya, berkaitan dengan limit. Kemudian ada aksen ya, aksen. Nah, ini perhatikan nih teman-teman semuanya juga bagaimana cara membaca F aksen X gitu ya. Lanjut lagi yang masih berkaitan dengan Nah, kalau ini kan sudah konsep ya, sudah konsep. Next. Nah, ini ya notasi-notasinya. Bagaimana membaca ini f(x) sin x, kemudian d per dx ya dari fx. Nah, ini ya sudah dijelaskan. eh, karena yang eh, simbol yang kedua ini kan ada simbol Leibniz gitu ya. Nah, itu eh, yang jadi fokus ya dari simbol ini adalah dia terhadap apa. Nah, makanya ini cara bacanya the derivative of f of x with respect to x ya. Artinya dia d-nya itu dx ya. Itu. Lanjut lagi. Nah, ini juga sudah lengkap ya bagaimana cara membacanya bagus. Eh, ke integral sekarang. Oke, ada nah ini ya. Ini juga sudah dijelaskan bagaimana cara membacanya. Eh, jadi dx ya ini dibaca with respect to x ya. Dx gitu ya. Kemudian oke baik. Oke. Ini yang lainnya diingat-ingat ya. Jadi mungkin kita tidak secara prosedural menyelesaikan soal-soal turunan, soal-soal integral. Nah, ini nanti ada ya di UAS-nya Kalin gitu ya mungkin ya. Kalau UAS di BIM cukup eh, di pengenalan istilah-istilahnya, kemudian mungkin ada teorema-teoremanya dan bagaimana cara membacanya. Oke, mungkin saya pikir cukup ya untuk eh, apa uh, materi tentang analisis ini.
Okay, thank you so much, Mami, for the feedback. So now we will move on to the quiz session, and the first and second question will be presented by me. So if you already know the answer, you can raise your hand after we read the question first. Okay. So the first question is, find the value of the limit of the quotient of 1 is subtracted from 3 is multiplied by x is divided by x is added to 2 as x approaches 1. And if you already know the answer, you can raise your hand. Okay, in my screen there is Elizabeth who raised her hand. So Elizabeth, the time is yours.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Is my voice clear? You can hear my voice?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, uh, we can do the direct substitution. We can substitute x equals 1 into the function. So, 3 multiplied by 1, sorry, 1 is subtracted by the result of 3 multiplied by 1, and then the product is divided by 1 plus 2. So the result is 2 divided by 3. Yeah, since the function is continuous at x equals 1, so the limit is 2 divided by 3. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Elizabeth, for the answer. We will check the answer. Okay, so the answer is correct, and we need to use the direct substitution for this question. So the answer is 2/3. Thank you, Elizabeth. Okay, now we will move on to the second question. Okay, the second question is find the value of the limit of the quotient of 8 is subtracted from 2 is multiplied by x is subtracted from x to the square is divided by 2 is subtracted from x is added to x to the power of 2 as x approaches -2. If you know the answer, you can raise your hand. Okay, in my screen there is Elsa. So Elsa, do you want to share your screen or do you want to explain here?
just explain.
Okay, Elsa, the time is yours.
Thank you, Kayla, for the opportunity. So, the equation, first question is x squared minus 2x minus 8, and equation 2 x squared plus x minus 2. So, the question 1, which factor x minus 4 and x plus 2? And the question 2, factor is x plus 2 and x minus 1. Because x plus 2 same in question 1 and 2, so cancel to factor x plus 2. Now you're left with x minus 4 equation divided by x minus 1. So substitute x substitute x equals minus 2. So minus 2 minus 4 minus 2 minus 4 equals minus 6 divided by minus 2 minus 1 equals minus 3, and minus 6 equals minus 6 divided by minus 3 is the answer is 2.
Okay, thank you, Elsa, for your answer. So we need to check the answer first. And the answer is correct. So we use the factoring method and then we divide out the common factor, then we use the substitution and subtraction, and we simplify the fraction, and the answer is 2. Okay, thank you, Elsa.
Thank you,
Okay,
Kayla.
next. Thank you, Elsa. Okay, next is the third and fourth question, and these two questions will be presented by Adinda. So Adinda, the time is yours.
Okay, the next question is the first derivative of f of x is equals to x is subtracted from 3 is multiplied by x to the power of 2 is added to 2 is multiplied by x to the power of 3 and added to 2 is f prime of x. And the question is the value of f prime of 2 is, oh yeah. If you want to answer, feel free to raise hand. Yeah, guys. Okay, in my screen is Tamika. The Tamika account is yours.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. So I will explain. First, we search the first derivative. So for the first derivative of 2 is multiplied by x to the power of 3 is 6. 6 is multiplied by x to the power of 2. And for the 3 is multiplied by x to the power of 2, the first derivative is 6 is multiplied by x. And for the minus x, the first derivative is minus 1. So the first derivative of fx is 6 is multiplied by x to the power of 2 plus 6 is multiplied by x minus 1. So we input 2 to the fx. 2 is multiplied by 2 to the power of 3 plus 3 is multiplied by 2 to the power of 2 minus 2. So the result is 35. Thank you.
Okay, Konita, thank you for the answer. Let's check to the answer. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, your answer. The answer is 35. Okay, next. Okay, next question is find the derivative of 4 is multiplied by tangent of x is subtracted from 5 is multiplied by sine of x. If you want to answer, feel free to raise hand. Okay, in my screen. Yeah, Okay, in my screen there is Ilyas. So Ilyas, time is yours.
Okay, Adrian, thanks for opportunity. My answer is B, 5 cos x minus 4 secant quadrat x from equation 5 sin x, sin x. The derivative is 5 cos x, and then derivative from minus 4 tan x is minus 4 secant quadrat x. And the result is B, 5 cos x minus 4 secant quadrat x.
Okay, thank you, Ilyas, for the answer. Let's check to the answer. Yeah, but that's answer is correct. It's B. Is 4 is multiplied by secant square root of x. Is subtracted from 5 is multiplied by cosine of x. Thank you, Ilyas. Okay, next move to Hasna.
Okay, the next. Okay, the next question is what is the value of the integral of sine of x squared multiplied by 2x with respect to x? If you want to answer, feel free to raise your hand. Okay, for Fitra, can you explain your answer? The time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Hasna, for the opportunity. Okay, first, let U equal x squared. Then the derivative of U with respect to x is the U equals to x dx. And now substitute into the integral, it becomes the integral of sine U du. Then the integral of sine U is negative cosine U plus c. And now substitute back U equals x squared. The final answer is negative cosine of x squared plus c. And the answer is A.
All right, let's see the answer next. So the answer is correct. Thank you, Fitra. Because the integral is sine of x squared times 2x is respect to x, the substitute let u is equals to x squared, then u is equals to 2dx. So the integral becomes the integral of sine of u with respect to u. Next, substitute back u is equals to x squared. The answer is negative cosine of x squared added to c. So the answer is correct. Thank you, Fitra.
Yeah, thank you, Hasna.
Next. Okay, the last question is if the value of the integral from b to a of f of x with respect to x is 5 and the integral from c to a of f of x dx is 0, then what is the value of the integral from c to b of f x dx? If you want to answer, feel free to raise your hand.
Come on, friends, if there anyone who want to answer, this is the last question. Let's go, let's go.
Ini ada yang bisa menjawab? Kalau enggak, mungkin nggak apa-apa langsung dibahas ya oleh kelompok karena apa? Ini agak sulit ya. Maksudnya eh ini di luar ini kita sebenarnya di luar capaian mata kuliah BIM 1.
Okay. Next to answer. Okay, the answer is D -5 because step 1 is to subtrate the given values. 0 equals the integral from C to B of f of x dx added to 5. And second is subtract 5 from both sides. 0 minus 5 equals the integral from C to B of f of x dx. So the result is the integral from C to B of f of x dx equals -5. Alright, that's all for me. I'll return it to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Atinda and Hasna. Okay, so our presentation is already over. I'd like to say thank you to me for the feedback and thank you to all of you guys who listen and participate in the quiz session. I'm sorry if there are any kind of mistakes with our presentation. That is all from us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Group 9, for the presentation and all of our participants for our discussion today. Inshallah, we'll meet in the next meeting with the matrix material kelompok 10 ya yang akan presentasi matriks ya materinya ya. Mohon maaf ini karena apa LMS-nya itu lagi bermasalah ya, jadi sejak kemarin saya nggak bisa masuk ya, atau mungkin ada gangguan, jadi belum tersedia tugas apa namanya tempat upload tugas kelompok 10 ya. Nanti ya silakan diselesaikan karena kan sebetulnya deadline-nya hari ini ya. Nanti kalau sudah siap LMS-nya nanti saya hubungi PJ, saya konfirmasi. Baik, sampai di sini mungkin ada yang ingin ditanyakan sebelum kita tutup kuliah pada hari ini. Oke, cukup ya. Baik, kita akhiri perkuliahan pada hari ini. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih, Ibu.
Terima kasih, Bu.
Makasih, Bu.
Makasih Kaila, Hasna, Dinda.